All right, let's get right into it. You know that little symbol in the corner of your phone? The one that says 4G or 5G? We all kind of know that a bigger number is better, but what are we really upgrading? Because this isn't just a story about getting faster speeds. Nope. This is a story about a massive shift in purpose, a journey that's been going on for 60 years and has totally changed our world. So let's just start with the most basic question. When you see that G, what do you actually think it means? For most of us, our brain immediately jumps to speed, right? Like, how fast can I download this movie, or how smooth is my video call going to be? But is that really the whole story? Not even close. Yeah, speed is a huge part of it for sure, but every new G is really a total revolution in the network's architecture. It's a whole new philosophy. The real change isn't just about doing the same old things a little bit faster. It's about making entirely new things possible. Each generation is built to answer a completely different question about what a network should do. And to really get what I mean, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to an era that had one simple but honestly pretty wild goal for its time: to finally cut the cord on the telephone and make the human voice truly mobile. So back in the 80s, 1G gave us our very first taste of this freedom with analog voice calls. Then come the 90s, 2G took that idea and made it digital, which was, a massive, massive leap forward. And you can really see the difference right here. On the left, that's 1G for you. Big, clunky, and only good for analog voice calls that, let's be honest, were often crackly and full of static. But with 2G on the right, the signal became digital. That meant way clearer calls, better security, and, for the very first time, this brand new way of communicating, the SMS text message. Game changer. Okay, so the next big chapter changed everything. The focus wasn't just about connecting voices anymore. Suddenly, it was about connecting people to information, to the internet itself, and basically creating the smartphone as we know it today. So the 2000s brought us 3G, and that was our first real taste of data on the move. It opened the door for things like basic web browsing and email on your phone. But it was really the 2010s with 4G LTE that just completely unleashed the mobile internet with true high-speed broadband. And this is so critical. 4G didn't just make 3G faster. Its speed and, importantly, its low latency created the actual foundation for the entire modern app economy. I mean, think about it. Services like Uber, Netflix, Zoom, they're literally only possible because 4G made streaming high-quality real-time data to a phone not just possible, but reliable. Now, what's happening behind the scenes here is just fascinating. How do these networks handle millions of people all at once without turning into total chaos? Well, think of it like a highway. 1G, with something called FDMA, gave every single car its own private lane. It worked, but it was super inefficient. Then 2G came along with TDMA, which was like making all the cars share one lane, but they took turns so incredibly fast that you'd never even notice. 3G, with CDMA, was even smarter. It was like giving each car a secret language so they could all drive in the same lane at the same time and not crash into each other. And 4G and 5G? Well, that's OFDMA. And it's basically a super intelligent traffic system that creates and removes lanes dynamically for each car, giving them exactly the amount of road they need right when they need it. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so that brings us to where we are now and where we're headed. We are officially moving beyond just connecting people to people. The goal has gotten so much bigger. It's now about connecting everything, from cars to factory robots to entire cities, and doing it with a layer of built-in intelligence. 5G, which is rolling out as we speak, is designed from the very beginning to connect machines and people with performance you can absolutely count on. And looking ahead to the 2030s, 6G is aiming to take the next logical step, to fully weave artificial intelligence into the very fabric of the network itself. You see, 5G isn't just one thing. It's more like a Swiss Army knife with 3 very special tools for 3 very different jobs. The first tool, eMBB, is the one we all notice. That's just a fancy name for the blazing fast downloads on our phones. But the other 2 tools, they're the real game changers. URLC is the tool for things where there is absolutely zero room for error, like a surgeon operating remotely or cars talking to each other to avoid a crash. Then the third tool, MMTC, is designed to connect literally billions of tiny, low-power sensors, creating the smart cities and smart farms of the future. And the vision for 6G? Well, it gets even wilder. The goal is to use the network not just to communicate, but to sense the world around it. By combining insane speeds, widespread sensing, and AI, 6G wants to build a real-time digital twin of our physical world. Basically, a perfect virtual model that can understand and even interact with reality. So, after that whirlwind tour, let's just take a breath and pull it all together. Let's look at this whole journey in one place. What has the network actually become over all these years? This table right here, it lays out the entire story. Just take a second and look at that primary goal column. Watch how the ambition just explodes. It starts so humbly with 1G, just wanting mobile voice. Then 3G and 4G bring us the mobile internet. But then look at the leap to 5G. The goal becomes performance guarantees. That's a promise of reliability for machines, not just convenience for us. And finally, 6G's goal is simply intelligent connectivity. This one column tells the whole story. The network has grown up from being a simple tool for talking into becoming a sensory brain for our entire planet. So, if you want to remember the core idea of each G, just think of the question it was trying to answer. 4G answered a simple but world-changing question. How do we make the internet truly mobile? Then, 5G came along and had to ask a much tougher question for this new world of connected machines. How do we guarantee performance? How do we make the network reliable enough for the most critical jobs imaginable? And now, 6G is asking what might be the ultimate question for the future. How do we make the network itself intelligent? How do we literally embed thinking, sensing, and learning right into our global communication grid? Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. This whole journey, from 1G all the way to 6G, it was never just about faster downloads on your phone. It's about building a network that's slowly but surely becoming an extension of our own human capability. So the real question we're left with is this. When our network can finally sense, think, and act, what kind of world is it going to help us build?